You want to know the worst pain in the world? It's not losing your husband to cancer. It's not watching your savings disappear. It's looking into a son's eyes and realizing you don't recognize the monster staring back at you. My name is Margaret Elizabeth Thompson. I'm 60 years old, and this is the story of how my own flesh and blood destroyed me, and how I rose from those ashes like a phoenix with better investment strategies. Let me take you back to where it all started to crumble. It was a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays were when Robert and I used to have our coffee dates before the lymphoma took him. I was standing in my kitchen in our Westchester home, the one Robert and I bought 30 years ago when I first made partner at the medical practice. The morning light was coming through those expensive bay windows, hitting the marble countertops just right. I had $4.2 million in savings. $4.2 million. 35 years of double shifts, emergency room chaos, putting myself through medical school while waitressing at Denny's. Every dollar earned with sweat, sacrifice, and more sleepless nights than I can count. My son, Bradley, my only child, my world, walked into that kitchen that morning with tears in his eyes. "Mom, I need to talk to you." He was 35 then, married to Jennifer for 7 years. They'd given me 2 beautiful grandchildren. He worked in tech, or so he said, some startup that was always just about to take off. "What is it, honey?" I poured him coffee, added cream the way he liked it since he was a teenager. "Mom," his voice cracked, "Jennifer's sick." My heart stopped. After watching Robert waste away for 18 months, those words hit different. "What do you mean sick? What kind of sick?" They found something, a mass. She needs treatment, experimental treatment. Insurance won't cover it." He grabbed my hands and I could feel him shaking. "Mom, I need $150,000. I know it's a lot, but she's the mother of my children. Your grandchildren need their mother." "What would you have done?" I wrote the check that afternoon. 3 months later, Jennifer looked healthier than ever. Glowing, actually. "The treatment's working," Bradley exclaimed when I mentioned it during Sunday dinner. "Thank God we caught it early. Thank God for you, Mom." He hugged me so tight I felt like a hero. 2 weeks after that, he came back. "Mom, the second round of treatment, it's $200,000. I know it's insane, but what choice do we have?" I hesitated this time. Something felt off. "Bradley, can I talk to Jennifer's doctors? Maybe I can—" "No!" He shouted it so loud that I actually flinched. Then softer. "No, Mom. She's embarrassed. It's breast cancer. She doesn't want anyone else to know. Please don't take away her dignity." So I transferred $200,000. Then it was the house. "We're going to lose the house, Mom. The medical bills, they've destroyed our credit." $180,000 to save the house. Then his car got repossessed. $45,000. The startup needed emergency funding or he'd lose his job. $120,000. Each time there was a crisis, each time there were tears, each time I couldn't say no to my baby boy. My financial advisor, Tom Chen, bless that man. He tried to warn me. "Margaret, you've withdrawn $695,000 in 8 months. At this rate—" "It's my son, Tom. What would you do?" He looked at me with such sadness. "I'd ask for documentation, proof, receipts." "But mothers don't ask their sons for receipts, do they?" Her name was Sienna. I met her on a random Thursday when I drove to Bradley's office to surprise him with lunch. He'd been so stressed lately, working such long hours. Except Bradley wasn't at any office. The address he'd given me? It was a Starbucks. I sat in my Mercedes in that parking lot for 20 minutes, hands shaking on the steering wheel, when I saw him, my son, walking out of a luxury apartment complex 3 blocks away, his arm around a woman who definitely wasn't Jennifer. She was young, mid-20s maybe, long dark hair, designer everything, laughing like she didn't have a care in the world. And Bradley, my Bradley, he looked at her the way he used to look at Jennifer. No, worse, like she was oxygen and he was drowning. I followed him. God help me, I followed my own son like some kind of private investigator. They went to Tiffany's. I watched through the window as he bought her a bracelet that probably cost more than my first car. That night, I showed up at Bradley's house, his actual house, where Jennifer and my grandchildren lived. Jennifer answered the door in yoga pants and a tank top, looking confused. "Marette, is everything okay? Brad's not here." "Jennifer, honey, can we talk? About your treatment?" Her face went blank. "What treatment?" The earth tilted. "The cancer treatment? The experimental therapy?" "Margaret, I don't have cancer." "What are you talking about?" I actually felt my knees give out. Jennifer caught me, helped me to the couch, and that's when it all pouring out. Every dollar, every lie, every crisis that never existed. Jennifer went white as a sheet. "He told you what?" Turns out, Jennifer knew nothing. The marriage was already dead. She just didn't know Bradley had moved on so completely. He'd been living a double life for over a year. I waited for him at his apartment, that luxury high-rise my money probably paid for. When he walked in with Sienna, both of them carrying shopping bags from Gucci and Prada, he actually had the audacity to smile at me. "Mom, how did you—" "Cut the crap, Bradley." I'd never used that tone with him before. "I met Jennifer today. Funny thing, she's miraculously cured of the cancer she never had." Sienna dropped her bags. Bradley's face cycled through panic, anger, and then nothing. Cold, dead nothing. "You went behind my back?" "I went behind your back?" I was screaming. I, Margaret Elizabeth Thompson, who never raised her voice in surgery even when a patient was coding on the table, was screaming in some luxury apartment. "Oh, here we go." He threw his hands up. "The martyr act. You've been holding that over my head my whole life. I sacrificed everything for you, Bradley. I worked so hard for you, Bradley. Well, congratulations. You finally get to be the victim you always wanted to be." I felt like he'd punched me in the chest. Sienna, this girl who'd been silent, she stepped forward. "Baby, calm down." "Stay out of this," I snapped at her. "You have no idea what you've walked into." She laughed. Actually laughed. "Oh, I know exactly what I walked into. A controlling mother who can't let her son be happy. Bradley told me all about you." "Did he tell you he's still married? That he has 2 children?" "We're in love." She said like that explained grand larceny. "Real love, something pure. And yeah, it costs money to start a new life, but you have plenty. Bradley said you're loaded." "Had plenty, past tense. Do you know how much he's taken from me?" Bradley stepped between us. "You owe me that money. Do you know what it was like growing up with you never there? Every recital, every game, every moment that mattered, you were at the hospital. You chose your patients over your own son. I was building a life for us. After your father lost his job, I was the only—" There's always an excuse. His eyes were wild now, unfamiliar. "Well, guess what? I finally put myself first. Sienna and I are starting a life together, and yeah, I used your money to do it. Consider it back payment for a childhood I never got." Bradley, please. I was crying now, full on sobbing. Please, I love you. I'm sorry if I wasn't perfect, but this is wrong. You know this is wrong. We can fix this. The only thing that needs fixing is your obsessive need to control my life. He walked to the door, opened it. Get out. Don't contact me. We're done. Bradley, get out. I left. What else could I do?
But that wasn't the end. Oh no, that was just the beginning. Over the next 6 months, Bradley became a demon I didn't recognize. He'd forged my signature, I found out later, on documents making him power of attorney. Tom Chen called me, panicked. "Margaret, Bradley's trying to liquidate your investment portfolio. I stalled him, but if he has legal authority..." I lawyered up immediately. Cost me $50,000 just to fight my own son in court. During the depositions, Bradley sat across from me with dead eyes. "Mrs. Thompson," his lawyer said, "my son hired a lawyer against me. Isn't it true you verbally promised Bradley his inheritance early to help with family medical expenses?" "There were no medical expenses. He lied." "Isn't it true you've suffered from depression since your husband's death? Perhaps some confusion about these transactions?" They were trying to paint me as senile, incompetent. I looked at Bradley and said, "How can you do this to me?" He leaned forward, and I'll never forget what he said. "You're already old, Mom. What do you need money for? To rot in some nursing home? I'm giving it purpose. I'm living." The judge ruled in my favor. Barely. But by then, Bradley had already drained another $400,000 through various accounts I didn't even know he had access to. Jennifer filed for divorce. She was devastated, humiliated. She kept apologizing to me as if any of this was her fault. I had no idea, she sobbed in my living room. "Margaret, I swear to God, I had no idea. He told me he got a bonus at work, that things were finally turning around." My grandchildren stopped seeing me. Bradley told them I was sick and saying crazy things about Daddy. I lost $1.4 million to my own son. My health deteriorated. Stress-induced hypertension, insomnia, panic attacks. Me, a doctor who'd handled emergency room chaos for decades, having panic attacks in the grocery store. The worst part? I still loved him. I hated myself for it, but I loved my son. At 2:47 a.m. on a cold November night, my phone rang. It was Sienna. "Is this Margaret?" She was crying, hard, ugly crying. "What do you want?" "He's gone. Bradley's gone. He took everything, and he's gone." I sat up in bed. "What are you talking about?" "The money. All the money. He said he was investing it in crypto, some guaranteed thing. But it was a scam. It's all gone. Every penny. And the apartment, it was rented on credit cards that are all maxed out, and they're evicting us tomorrow, and he left. He left me." I should have felt vindicated. I should have hung up. "Where is he?" "I don't know. He said he couldn't handle it, and he just left. Margaret, I'm sorry. I'm so, so sorry. I didn't know. He said you were rich and selfish, and it wouldn't even hurt you to share." "How much is left?" "Nothing. Less than nothing. He owes people. Bad people. They came here today. I'm so scared." I hung up. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the dark in the house Robert and I built and felt absolutely nothing. I found Bradley 3 weeks later, not at some luxury hotel or swanky bar, at a homeless shelter in Newark. He'd lost everything. The crypto scam took $1.8 million, my money and money he'd borrowed from loan sharks, apparently. Sienna left him the day the repo men came.
Jennifer took the kids to her sister's in Colorado and got a restraining order. When I walked into that shelter, he was sitting on a cot in donated clothes, staring at nothing. "Bradley?" He looked up. For a second, I saw my little boy again, the one who used to wait up for me after double shifts, who'd make me terrible grilled cheese sandwiches and tell me about his day. Then his face hardened. "Come to gloat?" "I came to see if you're alive." He laughed, bitter and broken. "Barely, thanks to you." "Thanks to me?" "If you'd just helped me when I asked, if you hadn't been so suspicious and controlling, I could have made it work. This is your fault." I actually gasped. "My fault? Bradley, you stole from me. You lied, you manipulated, you destroyed your own family. Because you made me desperate. You never just gave. There were always strings, always judgment. I gave you everything. My whole life, I gave you everything. You gave me money. You were never there, and when I finally found happiness with Sienna, found something real, you tried to destroy it." We were both crying now, both broken in that terrible fluorescent-lit shelter. "Bradley, Sienna left you. Don't you get it? She wasn't real. The love you destroyed everything for, it wasn't real. Don't you dare." He stood up, got in my face. For the first time in my life, I was afraid of my son. "Don't you dare. You don't know what we had. You've never understood love. You didn't even love Dad properly. You were always at work. Your father had lymphoma, and I worked myself to the bone to pay for treatments that might give us one more year, one more month. How dare you?" He shoved me. My own son put his hands on my shoulders and shoved me backward. I hit a wall, hard. Pain exploded in my hip. Everyone in the shelter went silent. Bradley looked at his hands like they belonged to someone else. "Mom, Don't." I pulled myself up, ignoring the screaming pain. "Don't say another word." "Mom, please, I didn't mean. I need help, please. I need money. I need a place to stay. There are people looking for me." "No." "What?" "No. I'm done. I have $180,000 left to my name, Bradley. Out of $4.2 million, I have $180,000. I'm 60 years old. I can't practice medicine anymore. My malpractice insurance alone would eat what's left. You didn't just take my money. You took my future, my security, my peace. You're my son. You stopped being my son the day you chose to destroy me." I walked away. He screamed after me, threats and pleas all mixed together, but I walked away.
You know what's funny about hitting rock bottom? There's nowhere to go but up. I sat in my house, the one thing Bradley couldn't touch because Robert had put it in a trust, and I took inventory. I was 60. I had $180,000. I had no retirement. I had a medical degree I could no longer use in practice. I had no family except grandchildren I couldn't see and a son who'd physically assaulted me. Most people would give up. I got angry instead. Real, clean, burning anger. Not at Bradley. I was done giving him that power. At myself, for being weak, for being a victim, for forgetting who the hell I was. I was Dr. Margaret Elizabeth Thompson. I put myself through medical school while working 3 jobs. I'd held hearts in my hands and brought people back from the edge of death. I survived an abusive first marriage before Robert. I survived Robert's death. I survived everything life threw at me. and I'd be damned if I'd let my son be the thing that finally broke me. I made a plan. First, I sold that big house. Got $1.2 million for it. Broke my heart, but I didn't need that space and those memories anymore. Second, I called every professional contact I'd ever made. Turns out, a doctor with 35 years of ER experience is valuable, just not in the way I thought. Within 2 months, I had 3 consulting contracts with medical device companies. They needed someone who understood real-world applications, someone who could speak to both doctors and investors. $15,000 a month, combined. Third, I took $200,000 and invested in a friend's medical transport startup. High risk, but I didn't have time for safe anymore. I moved to a beautiful 2-bedroom condo in Charlotte, North Carolina. New city, new start. Cost me $300,000, but it was mine, outright, no mortgage. I started speaking at medical conferences. Turns out, people loved my no BS approach to emergency medicine. $5,000 to $10,000 per appearance. I wrote a book, The ER Diaries, Lessons from a Life Saving Lives. It hit regional bestseller lists, not Harry Potter money, but decent. I learned to invest properly, not trusting anyone else with my money ever again. Index funds, dividend stocks, real estate investment trusts. And I lived. God, did I live. I took salsa dancing lessons. I traveled to Portugal and Thailand and New Zealand. I dated a retired engineer named Paul who made me laugh and never asked me for a dime. I made new friends who didn't know my story, who just knew me as Margaret. Funny, smart, a little wild Margaret. 5 years after that day in the shelter, I was worth $3.1 million. Not quite where I'd been, but close. And earned differently. Earned with wisdom, not just work. I was living in a gorgeous condo with a view of the mountains, consulting part-time, spending my winters in San Diego. Completely and utterly at peace. My doorman called up one December afternoon. "Dr. Thompson, there's a man here to see you. Says he's your son." My hand froze on the phone. Should I send him away? I should have said yes. Give me 5 minutes, then send him up. Bradley looked old. He was only 40, but he looked 60. Worn down, shabby, carrying everything he owned in a backpack. He stood in my doorway, and I didn't invite him in. "Nice place," he said quietly. "What do you want, Bradley?" "I heard. Someone told me you were doing well. I wanted to see if it was true." "It's true." He nodded, looked at his feet. "I'm still in Nurek. Shelter housing. I got a job at a warehouse. It's not much." "Okay." "I'm in therapy. Court ordered because I hit you, but I kept going after the requirement ended. I'm trying to understand what I did." I said nothing. "Jennifer won't let me see the kids. I don't blame her. I send child support, every penny I can, but it's not enough to make up for anything. No, it's not." He finally looked at me, really looked at me. "You look happy." "I am. I'm glad." Tears ran down his face. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything. I know I destroyed us. But I need you to know, I understand now, what I took from you, what I did, and I'm sorry." I felt nothing. That was the strangest part. No anger, no love, no pain. Just nothing. "Okay. Is there any chance you could ever forgive me?" Here's what I wanted to say. "Yes, baby, of course, come here. Let me help you. Let me fix this." Here's what I said instead. "Bradley, I don't know. Maybe someday. But right now, I have a life I built from the ashes of what you left me. I have peace.
I have joy. I have myself back. And I'm not willing to risk any of that, even for you. I understand. He wiped his face. Could I just have your number, so I could call sometimes, let you know I'm okay? I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, not yet. Maybe in time, but not yet. He nodded, shouldered his backpack. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. I know I have no right to be, but I am. You're the strongest person I ever known. I had to be. You made sure of that. He left. I closed the door, walked to my balcony, and looked out at the mountains. And I felt free. So what's the moral of this story? What's the pretty bow we tie on all this ugliness? It's not don't trust your children. It's not even protect your assets, though God knows, do that. Here's what I learned, what I want you to hear. You can lose everything and still not be lost. I thought my worth was in my savings account, in being needed, in being mom, the provider, the fixer, the martyr who sacrificed everything. But when all of that was stripped away, when I had nothing but myself and a choice, give up or get up, I found out who I really was. Not a victim, not a fool, not even just a survivor. A woman who could burn down to ashes and build herself back up into something even stronger. Your children don't owe you gratitude, but they do owe you honesty and respect. And when they fail to give you that, you owe yourself the strength to walk away. Love without boundaries isn't love, it's self-destruction. And most importantly, you are never too old, never too broken, never too far gone to start again. I'm 65 now. I have more than I had before, but what I value most isn't in any bank account. It's in my resilience, my peace, my hard-won wisdom. Do I miss my son? Every single day. Do I regret choosing myself? Not for 1 second. Would I take him back if he truly changed? I honestly don't know. And I've made peace with not knowing. Because here's the final truth. Some people will take everything you have and still blame you for not giving more. Your job is not to convince them otherwise. Your job is to save yourself. I did. And if you're in a situation even remotely like mine, whether it's a child, a spouse, a parent, a friend, I'm here to tell you, you can too. You are stronger than what's been done to you. You are more than what you've lost. You are never, ever too late to choose yourself. My name is Dr. Margaret Elizabeth Thompson. I lost everything, and I found myself.